Hi friends, it's Auntie Cuckoo, and today I'm showing you how to make your very own Easter basket from things you have around the house. Now all of these DIYs are completely free. I like to call them free DIYs. I'm also going to share some gift ideas that require no shopping for your Easter baskets, and I've got a little surprise at the end for you. So let's get started with this adorable Easter bunny basket made out of a milk jug. This is a great little way to get the kids involved in making their own baskets. Start off with a milk jug. So the back is going to be our tail. We're going to cut along the top and make our face on the front. Now my milk jug was already white because they were sold out of our normal brand. If your jug is plastic and you'd like to paint it, be sure to remove any markings using some nail polish remover. Go ahead and give it a paint of any color you want, or leave it plain. Those are super cute as well. Now I'm using a marker to figure out how I want to cut the opening along the top. And I messed up. So just be sure if you paint your milk jug that you don't use nail polish remover to remove your markings after you've painted it. So learning from my mistake, you're going to want to cut a circle around the top of your jug. Now you don't have to do this step, but I think it makes it a lot cuter getting rid of the lid, and it makes it really simple to drop things into your bunny milk jug. Go ahead and remove your lid and start cutting. Use your scissors to sort of cut an opening for you to get your scissors down around the circle, and just continue cutting all the way around until you are able to remove the top. Once you've done that, it's time to draw our mouth. So for this, I'm going to use this line along the base of the jug as the bottom of the mouth. And then I'm going to draw a half circle around the top. Once you have a shape you're happy with, go ahead and poke your scissors through your milk jug to cut out your mouth. Now it's time for our ears. I have a small scrap of white felt around the house. If you didn't have this, you could always use paper. Now I could go vertically or horizontally, but since I have so little felt to work with, I'm going to cut it on the diagonal to make my ears as large as possible. I'm just going to draw a leaf shape onto my felt before I cut it out. And remember, just because you don't have felt doesn't mean you don't have ears. Look around the house and see what you have and get crafty. I also have a little bit of bright pink felt on hand, so I'm going to cut a nose out from the felt and use the rest as little centers to my ears. And think outside the box. Not having pink felt doesn't mean you don't have a nose. Look around the house, maybe you have a piece of pink paper, some markers, or even some paint on hand for all of your details on your bunny. Now because I am using felt, I'm going to use my hot glue gun to attach my felt together. There is a space here at the end of my ear. I left that on purpose. That is where we're going to use some more hot glue to attach our ears to our milk jug. You may want to play around with the placement of them before you add your hot glue so you know exactly where you're going to want your ears. Now I want mine to bend back a little, so I put a small amount of hot glue along the back edge and let the felt stick down to itself. Then I hot glued my nose on. So now it's time to get crafty and do our eyes. We could use something like some wiggly eyes that we have on hand, but I'm going to use a Sharpie. Now this part always makes me nervous. Drawing or painting eyes, I'm just not really good at. So I always look up a few images so I know what I want before I start on my project. I'm also going to recommend you practice on some scratch paper before you get started on your actual eyes on your milk jug. Once you're happy with your eyes, let's go ahead and use our marker or paint, whatever you're using, to add some whiskers to our bunny. And just like that, the front is done. So let's move on to the back. I'm making a girl bunny and I'd like to add a little bow back here. So I grabbed some scrap ribbon from another project and just tied a bow. Having the handle here makes it so easy. And now it's time for our tail. Every bunny needs a tail, so for that I grabbed a few cotton balls from my bathroom. In all, I only used 4. I decided to fluff them, separating them just a little at a time before gluing them on. This made my tail a lot bigger and fluffier. Now that my bunny is looking so fabulous from the back, it's time to jazz up the front. I think she needs a little bow, so I'm going to use some more of my ribbon and just tie a very small bow that we will go ahead and hot glue on just under one of her ears. And just like that, our milk jug bunny is finished. So now I want to give you guys a few other ideas. For this, I'm using an empty antibacterial wipe container. Now, it doesn't have to be a wipes container, although I'm sure we're all using a few more wipes than we used to. Any kind of white container will do. Go ahead and remove any labeling or stickers from the outside first. If there is any residue left over, you can use some acetone or nail polish remover to remove it, but remember, you only need to remove the bottom half because we'll be cutting our container. Go ahead and use your scissors to cut straight down on your container and then create a chevron or zigzag around the top as you're cutting it. And that will give us the look of a cracked Easter egg. Remember, any container will do, even something like an oatmeal container would be great. You could always paint it or cover it in white paper. Now for the top of our jug, we're going to save that because that is going to be our handle. Go ahead and cut as straight of a line as you can across one side and then flip it around and cut a straight line along the other, removing any ridges from the top of the container. Now take a good look at your little cracked egg, decide where the front is going to be, and then go ahead and attach your handle using some hot glue. I have to say, this one was my family's favorite, and I think also mine. I think it turned out super cute. Be sure to stay tuned all the way to the end because I do have a free printable I've created for you all in the description box for your Easter gifts. Now on to basket number 3, another free Easter basket idea. So I don't know about you, but we just finished a very large tub of ice cream, and I thought this looked a whole lot like an Easter basket. So I looked around the house and came up with some burlap ribbon to cover it with. The problem was you could see through it. So first I decided to add some white paint to cover up any lettering or labels on the bucket. Once it dried, I went ahead and added my burlap ribbon using my hot glue gun. I just used a very little amount, just gluing it around the edge, on the top and the bottom, and a few lines vertically. Once I had finished covering my entire bucket, I went ahead and cut off the excess and glued down the edge. Now, if you wanted to, you could stop here. I think this is adorable, but I'm going to decorate the front. I have some more felt on hand, so I decided to go ahead and cut out some Easter eggs in different colors and shapes and add them to the front of my bucket for some decoration. Remember, you can do anything to yours. You can add some ribbon around the center with a bow, but I just really liked the blue Easter eggs. And I even ended up turning my gray egg into a bunny. Once you've finished gluing your decorations on, you are done. Now for those of you who are a lot less crafty, I want to encourage you to look around your house and think outside of the box. Maybe go through some old gift bags and see what you can turn into an Easter basket. Growing up, my mom always used my brother's helmet from football as his Easter basket. So trying to think outside of the box, or rather of the box, I'm using an empty granola box as this basket. I just used a knife to cut the top off. Of course, you'll need to be careful. No one needs any trips to the ER right now. I'm also reusing an old gift bag. We always reuse our gift bags a number of times. This one has seen better days, but I liked the print. So I used my box as my guide to go ahead and cut out the right shape to cover my box. Now remember, you don't have to use a used gift bag for this. It can be wrapping paper, regular old paper that you draw on, contact paper for shelves, or anything else you have on hand. Once you have your covering cut down to the right size, go ahead and glue it on, staple it on, tape it on. Whatever you choose to use is fine, and truly decorating it is half the fun. Once your box is fully covered, it's time to think about a handle for your basket. For this, I'm reusing the handles from our gift bag, just pulling them off and adding some hot glue to the inside corners of my box and letting my handle sit right in that glue. Be sure to not use your fingers for this, and that's all there is to it. Now, when it comes to our traditional thoughts of Easter, I know we think about Easter grass in our baskets. I want to encourage you guys to look around and think about other things you could use, like tissue paper. Something I tried is actually using my paper shredder to shred some tissue paper, and it worked, and now I have some Easter grass. Now, what are we going to fill our baskets with? So I wanted to create this free printable for you guys that is linked down below in the description. As long as you have a printer, you can go ahead and grab the link and print it out. And think about gifts that you can give that you already have around your house. I have a few suggestions for you. One thing I know about kids is that for them, the best gift is your time. So doing simple things like giving them a spare sock with some markers, maybe some googly eyes, and letting them DIY their own hand puppet, they will totally appreciate. If your child's not into crafts, you may want to think about giving the gift of a manicure at home where you soak their hand in a bowl of warm water and paint their nails. I don't know any little girl that wouldn't be all about that. Or maybe you have a budding chef on your hands that you can gift a little treat from your cupboard to. Just place it in their basket, and I'm sure that they will be enjoying all of the one-on-one time just as much as the treat at the end. Some of my favorite memories with my kids are tea parties, and not just with our daughter. Our boys seem to love it just as much. Why not gift them with a fabulous tea party and get dressed up for the occasion? Now, if you're thinking more simply, you may want to look around your house and give them a few extra snacks in their basket. I know my kids have been munching a whole lot more recently. Something else to think about adding to your baskets for a no shopping Easter are puzzles and games. Now, they don't have to be brand new. Maybe they have a favorite and you can set that in their basket and let them decide when they get that one-on-one time. I think most kids are pretty resilient and would appreciate the gift of time more anyways. So I hope I gave you a few ideas for your own no shop Easter. The truth is, the best gifts in life are free. You don't even need to go shopping to give a gift that your child will treasure this Easter. And don't forget about the free printable in the description. With that, I hope that you have lots of inspiration for your free gifts. Why not give the gift of a later bedtime, breakfast in bed, a manicure at home, some cooking lessons, or my favorite, a tea party. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you back very soon.